This episode contains segments that may be unsuitable for some audiences. For your convenience, these segments have been identified in the timestamps within the description.
It hasn't been some week, huh, for Joyce?
For Joyce, huh? Joy to the world.
Joy Reid at MSNBC loses her show. Her ratings went down like 47% after Trump got elected.
What was her viewership before?
She was basically pulling in like 1.5 million viewers for the election. According to Nielsen, she was averaging approximately 759,000 viewers.
Because Trump got elected.
Yeah. I mean, MSNBC is liberals. Fuck, man.
Fox was pulling 3.5 million with Laura Ingraham.
3.5?
A lot of people made it about race, except they failed to realize that in that 7 p.m. time slot, they're planning on putting former RNC chairman from like when Bush was president, Simone Sanders. I think she was Bernie Sanders' press person, and Gobar Bob Melendez's daughter.
Oh, really?
They already got a Saturday morning show on MSNBC. They're moving them to weekdays.
Want to talk about Joy Taylor?
Joy Taylor. She missed 3 straight shows the last week of February. And everybody was like, what happened to her? What happened to her? What happened to her? She posted on IG alongside her thirst traps a photo of her on a billboard promoting this thing called Passes.
Is that a show?
Nah, honestly, it looks like OnlyFans for celebrities minus all the spicy stuff.
Access to exclusive content.
Somebody's going to ruin it. I wonder who. Well, I say we get started after this bite of chicken.
Did you wait this entire time to start eating?
Yes.
Well, welcome to Concrete Cactus episode 4.
But wait, there's more.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Ryan.
What's going on with Ukraine? Searches for paper. Can't find paper.
Hey, listen, this came out of left field like Castellanos. All I know is that bro showed up to the White House. He was correcting the president and the vice president during a conversation.
That conversation is mad funny too. Because he said, what did he say? He said the U.S. was going to feel it and they started losing it. Trump was like, don't tell us what we're going to feel. Don't tell us what we're going to feel. I thought they was going to like arm wrestle. They're like, they're about to get in a boxing match real quick.
That was insane.
They had Trump and Zelensky on one screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one angle. And then JD starts talking and you're like, where's that voice coming from? And it pans out and goes over to him. I'm like,
you almost forgot that Marco Rubio's in the room.
Yo, everybody, it was just like people in there.
He was sitting like a sad little boy, like, but it gets crazier. So I think they were just basically airing grievances that absolutely had nothing to do with the actual deal that they were trying to sign, which by the way, he didn't sign. He left the White House and he ended up doing a really good interview on Fox News, by the way, Brett Baer. Seeing 2 celebrities duke it out like that was interesting to me.
2 celebrities.
Yeah.
We're talking about world politics, by the way.
What made it more insane is the fact that you had Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend randomly ask Zelensky why he never wears a suit.
That's actually mad funny. Because why doesn't he ever wear a suit?
Except on his show.
It's not in public.
But hey, bro's been on the front lines though. Zelensky is so serious about protecting his country.
I don't even know why we got any hand in this. Because they're not in NATO.
Well,
they were trying to be.
They're not in NATO, but they're in NATO. When I was in Kosovo, that Kosovo deployment I did was a NATO operation. And we had non-NATO nations amongst us. Ukraine was one of those non-NATO nations. So it's like being a physician assistant working with doctors. We are seeking membership. And the history between Russia and Ukraine is way too deep for us to describe on this podcast, less on this platform, without fact checkers and voice actors. And I would like to stay neutral on these sort of things. I pray to God that if I'm ever called to support that operation, that all those above me have the best interest of everybody involved. And the reason why I say everybody involved is because I thought about this the other day. Why am I in the military when I'm not a big advocate of killing people? Well, life is discretionary. If I'm going to combat, but my job's not even combat, but just being in the actual war zone, the best way for me to find peace or make peace with that reality is that we're practically taking them out of their misery. Because more than likely, if we're going to war with somebody, the U.S. is going to war with somebody, it's because they have an ideology that's far more detrimental to the existence of our civilization, global civilization. I'm gonna keep it right there. Speaking of death and destruction, you want to watch this video that I found on the internet?
The world's biggest nuclear bomb landed in New York City. The 50-megaton explosion would instantly vaporize everything within a 2-mile radius. The blast wave would flatten buildings up to 20 miles away, turning skyscrapers into rubble. And a fireball over 5 miles wide would ignite everything in its path. The shock wave would shatter windows as far as New Jersey, and the mushroom cloud would rise 40 miles into the air. Radiation would contaminate the area for decades, leaving no survivors.
Y'all niggas cooked. I like how you said it will shatter windows as far as New Jersey. New Jersey's literally across the river. You mean as far as PA?
Nah, I wouldn't stretch that far. Shattering windows that far?
And within the 2-mile radius is gone.
Yeah, 2-mile radius is gone. So all of New York is cooked.
Yeah. And Jersey City.
Half of it. At least half of it.
Staten Island.
Staten Island might have a little bit of a chance.
Right there by Elizabeth.
Most of these buildings over here are fallout shelters anyway.
True.
All I gotta do is go on my stairwell.
5-mile radius.
It's got to be somewhere around like, I would say maybe like 7 or 8. Wait, all right. So where I am is 15 miles away.
You just get radiation fallout.
And I'd probably have about an hour to get to safety. All right, since we're on the topic of New York City and dropping nukes on it, figuratively, congestion pricing.
That's the thing that Trump killed and
So
pronounced himself to be king for killing.
momentarily, because the cameras are still rolling.
Really?
Yeah. So what happened was he ended it. The governor of New York put in a what was it? Was it a
Lawsuit.
Yeah, she filed a lawsuit. And since there's a lawsuit against it, the cameras are active until a decision is made. Yeah. But we're going to the numbers came out for first month of January into February of how much they made.
How much did they make? Tens of millions of dollars, wasn't it?
They made, are you ready for this? 48 mil.
Damn!
48 million.
48 million just to scan license plates.
In 1 month. In just lower Manhattan.
Just lower Manhattan. How many feet of subway tunnel can that make? Like 40?
I bet you we will never see anything come from that 48 mil. The revenue is still a bit under the 52 million that MTA originally expected.
Interesting.
So I guess there's a little bit of pushback. People not trying to pay that for real. Or they're not entering the lower Manhattan as frequently as they would usually. I'm interested to see if this grows, if people just like took the month off. That's an initial reaction to the congestion pricing, but who knows?
Lord knows.
Shout out Tori.
Hot takes, cold subs.
I haven't had a cold sub in a minute.
I haven't had real food in a minute.
You want to go on? You know what? Next time I think I'm going to bring a plate.
What's going on in New York, New Jersey?
Yo, do you remember growing up and going to Six Flags?
For adventure?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Kingda Ka is officially gone. They tore it down last week. It closed in November of 2024 after 19 years of operation.
19 years of service. I ain't never ride with that damn thing. That line was always too long.
Did you really? You never got a chance to get on there? That's crazy.
I was also watching the video of it coming down. Kind of reminded me of this looked a little too familiar the way that thing came down.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you set up bombs to, you know, take something down.
Oh, you
Anyway.
you believe in that too?
Anyway.
I'm not a truther, but yo, I was egging you. I was poking the bear, huh?
Yeah, man. The plane definitely went into it, but I don't think that's what brought it down. But we could move on.
My boy said there was thermite in the Wow.
You think the plane brought it down?
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Absolutely. It's unfortunate. I still think about that day. We're showing our age right now, bro. There's kids watching this who aren't even born yet.
All right, we can save it for the episode in September. But yes, Kingda Ka was the tallest in the world.
That isn't the only thing that had left us in recent history.
You're right. Rainforest Cafe. You remember Rainforest Cafe in Menlo Park?
Who doesn't?
It's like a hidden gem, literally.
Kind of like how every Six Flags is different. Every Rainforest Cafe was different. That's what made that place so unique. Can't remember the last time I went to the Menlo Park one. I think when my niece was like 4 or 5 years old, the lizard came out. It was her birthday. This was in my past life. The lizard came out in a costume and she was not having it. She was like, so her parents were like, no, chill. They calmed her down and they made her pet the lizard. It was just a guy in a lizard costume, but it was so adorable.
I faintly remember Rainforest Cafe. It's been that long.
Remember our parents used to take us there for like PTO nights and shit? At least twice childhood.
I faintly remember that.
Faintly remembered.
My main memory is going there randomly and just going down there to just check it out. And it was like super dark. And they had that little mist thing going on.
The word.
This little fog. I was like, what's going on in there?
When he was a kid?
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody ever used that as a date night spot.
Probably would work as a date night spot. That's the crazy part. Like, if you get rid of the animals and stuff.
Like 2 school teachers going on a date.
But you keep the rainforest theme and get rid of the elephants and everything that's all over the place. A nice little date night spot.
Should have took that one school teacher there. That would have been cute.
I'm not going to even ask you who you're talking about. We just going to move on.
Half and half from Milwaukee.
I think I remember who this is. What you got going on in Arizona?
We got train heist.
What are they stealing?
Undocumented immigrants? I don't know. So thieves have targeted trains running through the deserts of California and Arizona in a string of robberies, resulting in thefts of more than $2 million worth of new Nikes, hitting the streets of South Phoenix, I'd imagine.
What did they have, though? Like, did they say what kind of sneakers it was?
They have. Many of the shoes were Air Jordan 4s.
Was it a brick by brick?
Sylvester's?
Nah, brick by brick. It might be Sylvester's.
This was a really coordinatedly choreographed operation. They had suspects aided by compasses and follow vehicles. They had white vans and they were tracking rail cars in real time. And
I mean,
it was like, yo, like this is like, wow. Cutting air hoses.
That's some Red Dead Redemption type bop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't assume that it's difficult to have a heist set around a train. Fairly easy, I would assume.
I say we get into purple politics.
Everything is purple. Everything is purple.
Swag. Wait, hold up. Aren't you a Travis fan?
I am a Travis fan.
Yo, you ain't hear about your boy on wrestling the other night? He was there when John Cena turned heel.
Yeah.
The first time in 25 years. So what do I hear about this Cuomo? Mr. Cuomo.
Cuomo. Pence is running for mayor. Can you blame him?
He trying to get Mayor Meme out of a job, huh?
Get your mans out of here. He's guilty.
Guilty as charged.
Cuomo held it down during the pandemic, not gonna lie. Dude was solid. And then he had that case that came out of nowhere and ruined his presidential candidacy.
Very, very common behavior in New York politics to just do something stupid as hell. Ruin your prospects of higher or current office.
It's all allegedly. All alleged. He didn't get charged or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, New York City got some stuff going on with politics right now, man. Yo.
Our entire childhood has been New York politics, New Jersey politics, corrupted.
Now it's time for New York City.
No, it's always been, they've been taking turns.
That's also true.
Yeah.
I mean, but it is New York and New Jersey.
You know, Bloomberg would do something stupid and then Chris Christie was like, wait your turn. Something just happened at the George Washington Bridge.
Yo, the traffic at the George Washington Bridge used to be insane.
Well, I guess congestion pricing brought that down too.
Oh, it's still a little backed up because it funnels, but it's not as bad as it was in, maybe, 15 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a different time.
At least the Pulaski is good.
Yeah, they spent like 12 years fixing that thing, ain't they?
They spent an entire generation trying to fix that thing. So what you got going on out in AZ?
Elon Musk is beefing with Senator Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear. He's a very nice man. A very nice person.
We have astronaut Mark Kelly, twin brother of astronaut Scott Kelly, both of which born and raised in Orange, New Jersey.
Woo!
Represent. The dispute stemmed from comments made by Trump, who blamed the Biden administration for delaying the return of the astronauts. Musk, during a recent Fox News interview, echoed Trump's sentiment. And that's when the European Space Agency astronaut Andres Mogensen got involved, calling the claim as a lie on X. And Musk responded, calling Mogensen fully retarded. Elon Musk with Asperger's syndrome.
Is this real?
Spectrum of autism.
Are you trolling?
Calling somebody fully retarded. And an idiot before Scott Kelly stepped in and defended him as one of the most competent, trustworthy, and honest people he's ever met. That is, wow.
Did he actually say that?
On God. And that's when Musk fired back to Scott Kelly saying, your brother claims to be independent, but he's just a Dem donor shill. So, of course, that's when Mark Kelly came in and said that he should get the nerve to come on a rocket ship before he argues with astronauts.
Fair.
That is fair, but I'm going to take it a step further. How old is Elon Musk?
I don't know. Is he like 50?
53. You know how old Scott Kelly is?
60.
61. You know how old Mark Kelly is?
62.
Scott Kelly and Mark Kelly will whoop his ass.
What is your political preference, Ryan?
Well, consider where you and I are from. Is anybody truly to the left where we're from? Like, to the left like this? Like, a lot of people?
There's some people. There are some.
How about the ones to the right?
The people who are to the... All right, so the thing about in Jersey, from what I've experienced, anyone who's like a Republican voter aren't like head over heels Republican.
They're not MAGA Republicans.
They are, but they're not aggressive
No, they're like,
about it.
They're like, I voted for Trump. Nah, I voted for Trump, USA, immigrants, the Hitler thing. Ah!
Yeah, they're not aggressive about it, but they are supporters because they believe in his theory of thinking.
And people to the left?
People to the left are just like, I mean, that's the other thing about where we're from. It's very calm. It's not like Northern was like,
yes,
like forced.
There's a lot of women who look like AOC, but a lot of them don't act like AOC. And a good amount of those women are certified transformation coaches, and they're still not as liberal as you think. They're still not as liberal as AOC. Nah, but seriously, we're centrist without guns.
Hey, look, whoever make the most sense is who I'm gonna vote for.
Yeah. Like, we vote with logic, the side of emotion.
I don't vote for emotion.
Hence why I said the side of emotion. It's not the main dish. It's like the salad. Just side plate.
But I like salad.
So you like a little emotion.
Not in my politics. Not in my politics. I don't like emotion in my politics.
I see what you mean, but you're going to slap me for saying this, but life is discretionary, bro. You got to have a little bit of something in everything, bro. A little bit of something in everything.
That's the same thing that got us in the middle of this war in Ukraine with Russia. We shouldn't. We shouldn't even be there, bro.
Well, what got us in that war? Certified transformation coaches.
I don't know, maybe. Shout out to all the certified life coaches. We getting America back on track, one session at a time.
No, one discovery call at a time. Long story short, I'm a centrist. I've become more of a centrist as I've grown up, enlisting in the military and living in, at the time I moved here, a red state. Wasn't really bothered by much.
It's still a red state.
Well, it's a red state when you look at things by state level.
Mm-hmm.
But governor, Democrat, pro-border, a lot of people don't like her because she's closer to the center. I mean, you got to be in a state like this. Why do you think our senators are both military veterans? Oh, by the way, RIP, oldest mayor of the nation, Vito Perillo of Trenton Falls, has died at the age of 100.
100? Impressive.
Prickly Pasks?
I don't have a baseball today. You hear the report that the Knicks almost had Joel Embiid and almost
Why?
traded for him?
How? Why was this a thing?
From what I remember, the Knicks were offering all of their draft picks to get Joel
The
Embiid.
Knicks just love giving away draft picks. They did the same thing for Mikal Bridges, man. And it's kind of biting him in the ass a little bit.
They was going to do this before they got Mikal Bridges.
Wow.
Before
So they were going to do something. I'm not even going to call that Mikal Bridges trade dumb. It was just a little too generous for what they ended up getting. But they were out to do something dumb as.
Yeah. And speaking on Joel Embiid, he's out for the season now. I mean, we all saw that coming, didn't we? You hear about the team's option of injury retirement?
So they can save several $100 million.
So basically what they have to do is there has to be a third party, what's the word I'm looking for? Evaluation, where the team gets to write him off and he is forced into retirement.
That guy's always injured, yo. Him and Bradley Beal, but at least Bradley Beal is a really nice, chill guy.
We'll see. I mean, even you talking about Phoenix, we could talk about the uncertainty of KD.
Apparently, the Suns tried to trade KD for the trade deadline. He didn't want it. Not happening. Trying to go to Golden State. It's still not happening, even after the offseason where he would rather have been traded.
If we get to the NBA offseason and Mans orchestrates a trade back to Golden State, I'm going to be on this podcast very excited to
Let's
say
make a
the
bet.
least.
If KD becomes a Golden State Warrior after this season, I will personally buy us 200 level seats at Suns Arena for a next season, regular season game against the Suns and the Warriors. Airfare included.
Yo, remember that time we were going to airfare included?
No, actually, no.
Remember when the Warriors were playing the Suns in the playoffs
Mm-hmm.
and we were about to make that last minute cop?
Mm-hmm.
Was it? If I remember correctly,
I think it was, but I think the Suns
side seats, wasn't it?
I think the Suns choked. Was it the one with the Western Conference semis and Game 7?
The Suns
That team imploded. I mean, they should have kept the team together. I'm just gonna say that they should never imploded that team. They villainized the shit out of DeAndre Ayton.
They did.
Yet DeAndre Ayton was still more consistent than Nurkic.
He is, or was.
Chris Paul is still very agile. People kept coming at his age, but Chris Paul is doing quite well on San Antonio. I think we got a little too excited because Cash Ishbia came in. He has the big bucks to bring big bucks people in. And
Can we take a moment to just acknowledge the fact that the only two teams that have pulled off acquiring big names and winning with those big names are the Heat when LeBron and Bosh joined, and the Warriors when KD joined.
So in other Phoenix Suns news, RIP Hooters, Devin Booker, put a shout out to Hooters, following up on a relatively old tweet from Year of Our Lord 2012. Dang, we was in high school at this time. This dude dropped this tweet.
Yeah, so imagine where he was at.
And KD followed up an AI generated image of him and Devin Booker eating wings at Hooters. And then one of those food companies, DoorDash, swooped in and offered Devin Booker free wings until they close. Or free wings for Phoenix Suns fans every Wednesday. Code BOOK. No.
Code book. They're gonna put a Hooters inside of the stadium.
Or, hey, Devin Booker might just... Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, their next business venture.
I mean, y'all got what you call it? What's the bikini grounds?
Oh, yeah. That's about to be called Nautica Malone Memorial Coffee real soon. On top of that, another Suns news. Highest scoring game of the NBA season as of March 2nd, 2025 is the Phoenix Suns versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Score was 148-151. Went into overtime. It was a hard-fought battle that they still lost. Ja Morant scored 26. Kevin Durant scored 34. Bobo scored 18. I'm so glad the Suns are finally playing Bobo. Way too late in the season. Bobo is probably the most consistent player on the Phoenix Suns. Coming off the bench, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Probably the most consistent player of the Suns overall. Hope this team turns things around next season, because this season I don't think the play-ins in our nope. Happy Trails Diana Taurasi. She retired.
Deuces.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Liberty.
That's crazy. Back-to-back season. The same season the Suns lost in the finals. It's the same season the Mercury lost in the WNBA finals.
I got some bad vibes out there.
Yeah, these people have not won since October of 2001.
Even like since we're on the topic of Arizona still, Kyler Murray was out here. You know, your boy was out here.
That's not really
your boy, but he's in your area.
Pause. No Diddy.
Well, why is that a pause moment?
Hot Asians in your area?
I didn't even say that. Why are you calling him a hot Asian?
It's a cute dude. Pause.
Well, anyway, Mans was at the Knicks game wearing a Jose Reyes Mets jersey last week. I think
He's like Spaceball. He almost went to the Mariners. He almost ruined his sporting career with the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, he might have ruined it there. At least for like 6 years. Him going to the Jets seems likely now. I don't know.
I told you.
And since we're on the football topic, Aaron Rodgers going to the Giants looks interesting. So the other thing about the Jets, like this whole A-Rod thing, is Devontae Adams is trying to get up out of there, off the Jets. And the Jets are interested in moving him and are trying to move him before the new season year starts. If they don't find a potential trade option, they're going to just release him. I think it would be interesting if he were to go to the Commanders. Jaden Daniels having another target like him would be only a bigger problem for the opposing teams. And I think it works out for him. I honestly think that gives him like the best option to win, other than him following A-Rod wherever A-Rod is going to go. But I don't think A-Rod's winning anything for the rest of his career. But yeah.
That's funny as hell.
You don't think he's gonna win something? I think he's cooked, bro. I think his career's over. At this point, he's just playing to play because he wants to play.
Which leads us to, drumroll please, more unsolicited Super Bowl 59 stats.
More?
Ready? You're ready?
But wait, there's more.
Let's do this. Super Bowl MVP fan favorite, Cooper DeJohn. Played with torn triceps. Nolan Smith, first black woman, and a fine one to say at least, to win a Super Bowl as a coach. Autumn Lockwood, the fourth Heisman winner, national champion, Super Bowl champion, Devontae Smith.
Devontae.
The first Australian who isn't a punter to win the Super Bowl.
Australia.
Jordan Bellata. The amount of times Taylor Swift was shown during the telecast.
What did you just say?
Taylor Swift was only shown one time. Ein in German.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was.
Most field goals made in Super Bowl history. And
How
Jane
many?
Elliott.
How many was it?
9.
9?
But he's tied with the guy who thinks women should be in the kitchen. Most watched Super Bowl ever.
Yeah, because you had the three-peat on the line. You had the Eagles on the line.
4th black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. And finally, the most booms at a Super Bowl. Please think about that for a second.
I don't know what that means.
Double top chocolate cookie. No? Nigga, you under a rock. Let's wrap this up.
We'll wrap it up then.
5 integer roadways are ranked as the most dangerous in the U.S. Because, you know, these drivers out here are trash.
How do you have a piece of metal, of scrap metal, just not strapped down to your truck? And you on the highway doing like 60, 70.
Goofies, man.
According to truckinfo.net, using analyzed data from National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Wouldn't be surprised if there isn't one by the time this episode drops. Here's what they found. Here's the top 10. I-15 in San Bernardino County, California ranks number 1. Number 2 is I-10 in Maricopa County, Arizona. We've covered quite a few incidents that's happened on I-10. US 60, Maricopa County, Arizona. There's always something happening on a 60, especially in Mesa. Number 4 is I-10, Riverside County, California. Number 5 is Interstate 30 in Dallas, Texas. Number 6, I don't know, but then I think I know. I-95 Delaware Expressway, Philadelphia County, Pennsylvania. I didn't see a lot of accidents on there in my time in Philly. Next one is I-40, Coquino County, Arizona. No surprises. Number 7, I-10 in Pinal County, Arizona. That's basically going into like Tucson. Basically, that's a gimme. Number 9 is I-35 in Travis, Texas. And number 10 is I-17, Maricopa County.
You had, what is it, 5? 5 roadways?
5 of them! 5! Jesus!
Y'all dangerous.
Y'all, I don't affiliate myself.
Hey,
I am legally and morally obligated to be a resident of this state. Let's look at some comments.
There's no comments, bro.
A pretty spirited yet cordial exchange about DEI and our DEI TikTok went for quite a while. So a gentleman,
I thought it was a lady.
no, it was between a lady and a gentleman. Gentleman posted, "There's no pros and cons to DEI. Justifying racism is all it is." Young lady commented, "Ramps so and people in wheelchairs can access buildings is DEIA. I think many people don't understand what all goes into it. People often leave out the A and do no research." Then guy was like, "Try again. DEIA isn't a bill. It's an organizational framework. Policies passed to give people with disabilities protection." Okay, someone with a wheelchair going to a building has nothing to do with unqualified people working jobs. DEIA doesn't mean unqualified people get hired. I mean, we have seen pretty live examples of non-whites who have unqualified positions. RK has no resume or expertise in health. He's often debunked. Pete is below the bare minimum of expertise in our military. Kamala Harris, what did Biden say when he was picking vice president? And about Phil Washington, who tried to lead the FAA. Kamala did decades of working in government, 2 different branches. Her resume is more extensive than others.
This is a
very... you mean the guy who had a Russian spy balloon in the air and all this other BS? It's like, yeah, as in DEI of what I'm saying is meaning that qualified people get overlooked because of human biases getting a chance. I don't know how we're going to have this conversation because the majority of this country can barely read. She ain't lying. Thank you. I'm going to look into it because I do what I see what happened there. Great conversation. Thank you for your dialect and not crashing out like 85% of the people on this. This was a great convo and I appreciate the same respect. We may not agree with everything, but I'm willing to just see how the numbers will look after all of this. And he probably stood in each other's DMs and probably scheduling a date. Isn't that beautiful? We're having spirited discussions that are cordial and dynamic and bear the bare minimum of ignorance. This is what I'm talking about. I am crying on the inside right now. This is what I wanted. Not smooth brain motherfuckers commenting on our shit. Bullshit with little to no substance. Yeah. So how do we end this?
The same way we always end it. By trying to take over the world. That concludes episode 4 from The Concrete.
Actions speak louder than words. Never say never. Cactus.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share.
Respect your last name.
Later.
Stay warm.